Studio on the road. We are live at the Moon River Festival in Chattanooga, Tennessee with Taylor Goldsmith. Taylor Goldsmith of Dawes, thank you for being here, man. It's great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. It's wonderful to hear you playing music. Last time we hung, there was some arm wrestling involved, and there was not music. It was just a lot of arm wrestling.
Yeah, I lost.
I'm delighted to have you playing music and to share your music with the internet, man. We're about to hear 3 songs from the latest record, Good Luck with Whatever. What's happening first today?
This song is called Didn't Fix Me. I went to see your healer with that mic strapped to his face. He talked about which habits to surrender and which habits to embrace. And for the next few days or so I was feeling pretty good, but it didn't fix me. I even started volunteering with the local Sacred Heart. We feed the homeless on some weekends. We pick up trash in all the parks. And even though we're cleaning up the whole damn neighborhood, it didn't fix me. Didn't fix me like I thought it would. I got that book you recommended about a spy in East Berlin. I really like the way it ended. He forgives his friend who turns him in. And I think I see what you were saying about how technically it should, but it didn't fix me. It didn't fix me like I thought it would. Didn't fix me. Didn't fix me. I finally got a nomination for some award that I don't need, but I say that out of obligation. I really spent hours on my speech. I thanked my biggest inspirations and the good folks back in Hollywood, but it didn't fix me. It didn't fix me like I thought it would. It didn't fix me. Didn't fix me. I finally found someone that loves me, and to her I will be true. She sees the ways in which I'm ugly and loves me for those reasons too. And even though I'm feeling stronger than I ever thought I could, it still didn't fix me. It didn't fix me. It didn't fix me like I thought it would. Didn't fix me.
Amazing, man. Dude, how is your duet with, is that Hippocampus? Is that true?
Yeah, they're backing
on the
me
main
up.
stage right now. It's I don't know how much is bleeding through to the internet, but it's, I mean, dude, you sound absolutely tremendous here in this room.
Thanks.
And it's, I mean, it's, for me, it is very reminiscent of the first time I ever saw your band was at the Newport Folk Festival doing a pace session. And John McCauley was screaming off of the quad stage, and you're doing so well, like with this like really intricate vocal harmonies, and I'm into it and like sweating, almost crying, like goosebumps and everything. And then John McCauley's just screaming through. And And at the time, I was like, oh no, it's ruining it. But in retrospect, I look back, it's like, dude, it's amazing. That's what that sounded like that day.
Yeah.
And then you guys did I Dig Love, did the George Harrison song right after that. And it was it was tremendous. There was bleed everywhere, but it was live.
Yeah, totally. And it's like, I mean, you know, if I'm watching a video and like another singer that I think is pretty cool is somewhere off in the background, like, you know, I'd be really into there being that weird story behind it. Like, have you heard that version of Didn't Fix Me with Hippocampus playing a different song in the background?
Yep.
It's trippy.
Yeah, dude, super fans are gonna dig into it. The comment section's gonna be awesome. Yeah, man. It's so Jake and I were talking a little bit offline about books. We were talking a little bit about Haruki Murakami. We're talking about Thomas Pynchon. We're talking about David Foster Wallace. What is happening in your literary world right now? What are you reading?
Right now, the main thing I'm into is this guy William T. Vollmann, and trying to get through all of his books. But I mean, I'm early on the journey. I've only done like 6 or 7, and he's got like 26 or something books, and one of them is like this like 7-volume thing about basically he asks the question of when, if ever, is violence justified. And that book's called Rising Up or Rising Down. That'll probably take me like half a year. So like this is going to be a long trip, but the stuff I've read so far is great. For his first book called You Bright and Risen Angels, that's it's kind of like an offshoot of like the Pynchon world, the postmodern thing, like William Burroughs influences, stuff like that. But nothing else he does is like that. Everything else is very well researched and lived in. Like he, you know, he's a poor writer in San Francisco as a young man, and so a lot of that early stuff is like him hanging out
around City Lights books and
well, not really. In his case, it was like the Tenderloin, and it was like prostitutes and pimps, and he will bring this like humanizing quality to these people's lives, and he does that for all sorts of walks of life and all throughout his books. Another book of his, when he was a young upstart, he thought he'd go help in Afghanistan in like 1989 or 1990, and it's called An Afghanistan Picture Show, and it's just him going there and realizing how helpless he is and how hard it is to actually help people as just a rule. But anyway, he's awesome, and his next one is called, that I'm going to read, is called Fathers and Crows, and he has this thing called the 7 Dreams series, and this is the second installment, and each of the 7 dreams are a different account of white people coming to America and kind of, you know, screwing up the indigenous populations, but he does it in a very like, I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just here to tell you what it was. He's also very funny, like in some of these books about, you know, like I was flipping through one that's about John Smith and Pocahontas, and it won't like just one of the pages had like all this stuff about Whataburger in it. So it's like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Nice. Well, dude, I'm excited for you vicariously through you to read. Jake was telling me that the density of books is important to you, that you are down to consume Gravity's Rainbow, etc., and everything that David Foster Wallace did. So good luck on that 7 volume. Clearly, you're really excited about it.
It's really like, I mean, I will say, like, I feel I have a leg up because of touring. I don't know how possible that kind of reading would be if it weren't for up until 4 o'clock every day. I have literally nothing to do, and I'm not with, like, you know, I'm not in my town, I'm not with my family, so it's like I could put down hours and hours and hours of reading in a way that I can't when I'm home. So I think that this profession lends itself to like the big tomes in ways that I like. So I don't want to sound like, oh yeah, anybody should do this. It's like I just have a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah, but I mean, you are contributing back to the world and giving people. I mean, you've got so much recorded material out there. We've done a lot of things together, and made a lot of these. Like there's you know, thousands of hours of if somebody were so inclined to dive into your output, they could be as engaged as you are with. Remind me the author.
William T. Vollmann is the new guy. I appreciate you saying that. That's kind of always been the dream for us. Like, obviously it's cool when bands have a hit, and I envy it the same way any like 12-year-old learner to play guitar would envy it. But the idea that we're like gonna do our best to have a big old stack of records and live albums and shows and set lists and singles and whatever, like that's really always been the dream, to be represented by like a pretty large body of work, as long as we can try to make sure it's at least halfway decent.
Yeah. Well, man, we are very honored and happy to be to play some part in it and creating stuff
you guys are
and
big part of
putting
that.
your stuff out into the world, which we're very literally doing right now. And there's a lot more to be shared, man. What do you feel like doing second today?
I'll do St. Augustine at Night. Cherry gum would cover up the cigarettes we smoked. The 7-Up would balance out the beer. Mom would make us dinner and we'd all try not to choke. Dad was working later every year. We'd count the trucks on Highway 1 on their way to Jacksonville, wondering where they headed on from there. My brothers and my sister all stood spiritually still, as if those roads became the answer to their prayers. But I didn't want it any other way. This town was the one thing that felt right. All these tourists could be kings during the day, but not in St. Augustine at night. I started working at the bait shack, supplying all the fishing tours. Pretty soon I was chartering a boat. My dad said I needed dumb luck and a secret stash of Coors if I stood a chance at keeping things afloat. That's when my girlfriend told me, hey, there's a baby on the way, and I need to know you're gonna go to bat. Well, I never put off till tomorrow the things I should have done today. No, I've always waited way longer than that. I have never had much say in how I felt. I've been guided by my barroom appetites. So if this world belongs to everybody else, just leave me St. Augustine at night. The Lord must really love us common folk, 'cause he made so goddamn much. Now if he'd just point the way to go, if he could just start speaking up. Our oldest brother left this world for leading one too many lives. I guess he settled for none at all. The rest of us just grew apart and blamed our husbands and our wives when anyone was asked why they don't call. Life became a series of birthdays, cars, and pets. Just anything to look forward to. I don't talk about mistakes, I don't talk about regrets. At this point I'm not sure what good it would do. But I'm not asking for anybody's help as I gaze at where the stars dance with the lights. If I'm not sure how I feel about myself, I still got St. Augustine at night. Oh, I still got St. Augustine at night.
Dude, that is a delightful song. Thank you sincerely for your time, for your music, for just being with us here today. It's always special, but it's extra special. I mean, considering the way the world is right now, to be able to sit down in person and do this.
For real.
So I want to talk about the dangers and the perils of washing sensitive parts of your body with the wrong types of soap. I know that you were not the one that washed your ass with the menthol soap again, but it was delightful, man. We crossed paths with Lee Pardini in LA, and then a week later I turn on Jimmy Kimmel and you're singing about washing your ass with the menthol soap again, which was a delightful interpretation of that song. Like, how quick did you guys pull that together? How did
it happened really quick? Like I hadn't seen the video that this joke. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, look up Dawes and wash my ass with menthol soap, Jimmy Kimmel, and you'll find something. And then come back to this video.
Don't do it right now. Wait till this session ends and then check out Jimmy Kimmel's version.
I guess this guy made this video, and the folks at Jimmy Kimmel thought it was funny, and they hit up our folks like, would Dawes want to do this? And it's funny, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think any artist ever feels like, oh man, we finally made it. But I never thought that I would get like just a tingle of that emotion in this way. Like, that was the first time where I'm like, wow, like, we're being treated like we're a band people would know about, kind of. And thanks to Jimmy Kimmel about someone who washed their butt with bad soap.
Good soap, just tingly
is weird.
Soap.
Yeah. But it was fun to also, we're a bunch of goofy dudes. There's some humor in our music, but also there's mostly not. So for us to like be a part of a gag, felt almost like important. Like, felt like, yes, this is us that we never get to really show. And also we hadn't really been together. We hadn't been playing music at all, like, really, because it was in the middle of the pandemic. And even being there, they were like, you guys are the first band we've had back. We're like, well, let's not call it that. I mean, this is a minute-long song about washing your butt, so it's
played by a real band that really is a band in reality. You guys are a good band. You guys are one of my favorite bands. So have you ever had fan input like that? Is there an example of just like something strange, something crazy that's happened to you at a show or just in life that has then made its way into a tune of yours? I know "Wash My Ass with the Menthol Soap" again.
Yeah, that's in every
joke.
set.
It's funny, it's hilarious. Yeah. But I mean, have your songs been influenced by stuff like that, like just a strange situation like that then ends up being actual art and your real output?
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, sometimes it'll be like a weird line in a movie that like otherwise doesn't necessarily feel, I don't know, poetic or lyrical, but I'll just sort of like, hear it in a different way and try to just chip away at it till it makes sense. And then other times it's a little more like straight up the middle. Like when we finished our first record, North Hills, and we were playing venues like the Echo in LA, and we're just getting started, but getting started enough where people were coming to shows, and we were like booking tours around the country. And I remember some fan at the Echo, I don't know who he was like, just don't forget your way back home. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a cliche, but it's a song title now for me, and that's on the second record. But yeah, there's always been like little things here and there where I'll hear it somewhere and try to turn it into something else. Like it's wish I could think of some good, more recent examples.
Dude, that's a pretty good example. Yeah. I like that. That's a good one, man. Dude, I'm enjoying myself so much right now, and there's still more of your music to be shared with our audience. What's happening third today?
I'll play a song, the last song on Good Luck with Whatever, called Me Especially. far as I could tell, I was the center of the universe, the favorite stepchild of our Mother Earth, and every camera's dream, till something broke the spell, and the cold hard facts I was hiding from were at the mercy of a pendulum, and I was smashed to smithereens. Let's try and have some fun tonight. Let's act like we got nowhere else to be, like we're just as young as we used to be. And it goes for everyone, but me especially. Documents and names, and I twitch away from what they really mean. In the shadow world of the in-betweens that surrounds us on all sides, you can look the other way. In fact, that's all I did until recently, till the expiration of my amnesty left me nowhere else to hide. Let's try and have some fun tonight. Let's act like it could always be this good, like we're just as young as we used to be. And it goes for everyone, but me especially. A flatlining learning curve, the last leg with low reserves, a desperado that lost his nerve, trying now to serve. Teach me how to serve, 'cause we're not as young as we used to be. And it goes for everyone, but me especially. Why am I still the youngest guy my age? Why am I still reading the same page? I know it's hard for everyone, but me especially, and you especially.
Man, dude, thank you again so much for your time and for your music. And to that line, why am I still the youngest guy my age? Good for you, man. This is tremendous, man. I'm a big fan of what you do. So we'll keep crossing paths, man. I'll see you
Thanks,
in a year,
man.
18 months, whatever it is, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Travel safely and have a wonderful. Oh, wait, Summer Stage too. We'll see you in New York for Summer Stage
sweet.
with Bonnie Light Horseman and Aaron Ray on September
it's gonna be
17th. That's
awesome.
like now-ish.
So cool you guys can be there.
Yeah.
Right on.
All right, man. Have a great set tonight. That is that, dude. Thanks for doing this, man.